You are a mental slave to the same system that fed you. My weapon of choice is satire.
Where did you get her character from?
I'm the type of person that I do the action and I think later about the consequences.
But are you not afraid of being called anti-Semitic?
Once you know something, you cannot gatekeep information.
Greetings, salutations, salams. This is Yvonne Ridley and this is my podcast. And today's guest is absolutely fascinating. You'll all recognize her, but how much do you know about her? Welcome, Nicole Jenes.
Thank you so much for having me. Pleasure to see you again.
Nicole, you are instantly recognizable to millions of TikTokers, people on the social networks, as this really scary border control guard at the airports whose mission in life seems to be to make Israelis' lives a misery.
Move away, everyone. I'm fleeing from a war zone. I'm Israeli. I need entry right now.
Oh no, I'm so sad about it.
Passport.
Where did that come from?
Oh, well, actually, that's a character called Nadia that I used to play it in Spanish for many years. So I always did this type of political satire with this character, Nadia, in different environments to create awareness. And actually, Nadia came just, it's a mix of Moldovan accent from the Moldova, Romania side from my father. And I just started to imitate that accent and I created this character that will allow me to teach the world about what is happening in a very satirical way. So absolutely, it's very important for each one of us to understand which one is our weapon of choice to resist against the evil. My weapon of choice is satire, and definitely Nadia, it's one of the characters that I'm choosing.
Is Nadia based on a real person?
Actually, the Nadia name comes from Nadia Comaneci. It's a Romanian gymnast.
Oh, I remember her. She was brilliant.
She was the first 10 in Olympics, first 10 ever, I think, in Olympics. And I always had this name in my mind growing up in Romania. So the name comes from Nadia Comaneci, actually. And
but Nadia Comaneci was such a sweet little thing as she go along the beams and
exactly, just the name comes from Nadia. And the character, I think it's something that I just picked up from my life and situations. It's how I would like to speak actually to the evil. So that's how I created that character, because Nicole can be different of the characters that she's playing. So that's one is like my armor.
Mm-hmm. So you're in real life, you're an actress or an actor. I don't know which one you go for.
An artist. I think it's
an artist.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I used to do production for a long time. I studied to be a writer, and I never wrote a book, but I started to write my own scripts for somebody that third parties, let's say, and an actress. But you can say artist or a person that is unsettled.
So, what made you go into that occupation?
Well, actually, it's a deeper story. I'm going to be very short in the story. So my father, he didn't allow me and my sisters and brother, but especially me and my sister, until we were 15 to watch TV or have a phone, or like we had this very natural lifestyle on the farm with the animals.
And which part of Romania was this?
In the south, with the very forest type of area.
I went to Brașov.
Amazing city, I know Brașov.
And that was beautiful.
Yeah, the Black Church. And my brother lives there in the city.
And that was many, many years ago after the fall of the Ceausescu regime. Did that have much, obviously you were born after the regime fell, but did the impact of that have much of an influence on your upbringing?
No, not too much, honestly. Not too much, because I mean, we moved from the city at a very young age. I think I was 5, and we went into the villages and farming. And I mean, you can see until now that generation that they still have a little bit of that mentality. But to be honest, in my closest family, like I did not feel it. in any way. Maybe the drastic kind of, because, in Ceausescu time, there was working until certain time, curfew and all those things. Well, my parents actually did not tell me sad stories from that time period, because my father, he grew up himself on a farm, and you cannot see exactly all those city laws in it's happening right now in Romania. We rule ourselves. You barely find one police station for 10 villages.
It happened so quickly. I think it was 12 days and the regime just fell.
Yes.
Which must send a shiver down the spine of most dictators in the world today. So what drove you to become interested in affairs around the Middle East and Palestine in particular?
Well, when actively, before 7th of October, I was extremely aware. I did not have such an active presence, especially on social media, about it. By that time, I used to live in Spain, but I always knew, and I did not dive deep into it, but I was aware of it, and I was trying to teach people. But after 7th of October 2023, the first images that I saw with the bombing and the children being butchered and the innocent people, it's that spirit of justice that actually I cultivated from my childhood with what I told you, all the books, and having that critical thinking. And I felt it, of course, as a human responsibility to teach other people. Once you know something, you cannot gatekeep information. You have to teach the people, because people who grow up with all this TV and fact checkers and media and all the, I wanted to say a bad word, but I'm not going to say it. You have a responsibility to wake the zombies up. I call them zombies, which I think I'm too nice by calling them zombies. I don't think it's an excuse when we have so much information, and that's not a good thing when you have so much information, but it's your responsibility to have critical thinking on that. Because why would you allow to be called a mental slave due to all this media? Why would you believe on the spot what BBC, CNN, or any other channel it's telling you? That means that you accept those mental slavery on yourself. So it's a pity, and it's shameful when you see the world. If I'm telling you right now, this microphone, it's red. And you're going to say, yes, because Nicole is from the Western media, I have to believe her, because somehow if she's from there, she must be right. But you're seeing it that is black. You see a different color. So this is what is happening. The obvious, they're not using that critical thinking. So it's a responsibility, obviously.
We see so much on the internet, on the social networks, it's a very powerful medium. I know, because I buy a load of rubbish. As soon as an influencer gets in front of the camera and goes, oh, look at this cream, it's got rid of all my wrinkles, I'm thinking, oh, I must buy that. And it is very influential. So what made you decide to dive into this really competitive market and come up with Nadia?
Well, first of all, we live in a very shallow world. So for me, it doesn't matter when I do a video that those people who are extremely shallow and easy to manipulate, if they're going to like me or not. I don't really care about that. It's enough for the people who are awake to actually support that video, for example. But my intention is to offend the so-called zombies. I'm going to explain you what's the strategy here, and everybody can use it, by the way. We live in a cancel culture. Everybody's offended by something. The penguins without gluten-free bread in Antarctica, I don't know. Really, maybe I'm from a completely different world, but everybody's offended by something. So much, it's so offensive that the freedom of speech, it's gated completely. So because we live in this cancel culture, I decided to offend them. What's happening when you offend those zombies, as I call them? They feel that urge to come at you and swear, cancel you. Let's cancel Nicole because she's, I don't know, anti-Semitic. Well, I don't know what that means for them. They don't even know the definition. So in order to cancel a person, they need to study a little bit to come back with something, to arguments. In order to have arguments, you need to study what I'm talking about. And I can assure you that in that process of studying what I'm talking about, you're going to learn something. So my aim is not to, you have to sit down and I'm going to teach you something so nice about politics because you need to be responsible. I don't have patience for that anymore. Why would I have patience? Because they are so complex with their latte and avocado toast, and children are being starved and genocided, and children and men and women in Palestine and so many corners of the world. Do I have to sit you down and take care about your pretty little feelings? No, I'm going to offend you. And in that moment, because you are a mental slave to the same system that fed you that type of mentality, you're going to feel that need, we're going to cancel Nicole or whoever. I mean, I'm just, let's say I'm just the weapon who shoots the bullet of information. We're going to cancel her because that's not all right.
I was watching one of your latest sketches, and you play the role of an Israeli woman fleeing and wanting to find sanctuary in Romania. Where did you get the Israeli character from? Have you visited Israel?
No, I never.
So
occupied Palestine.
Because it was very impressive. And this self-entitled white woman demanding that she be rescued and saved and given a safe refuge. Where did you get her character from? Did you study Israeli behavior or?
Oh God, no, I cannot. Like,
well, you
I
seem
would have
to
a trauma.
capture the character very, very
it's
well.
It's all over the place. Their entitlement. They snipe children and they pretend they go on Piers Morgan and they cry like, oh my God, we have trauma. I mean, it's all over the place. The TikTok videos, look at us. We are the sexy woman or men from IDF and we are dancing with our pretty little dance that it's acceptable in society. I mean, that entitlement of washing the genocide, how they are doing it, but all that, cool behavior. We're going to go on internet and we're going to do 10 reasons why you should love the IDF. What? I mean, I don't have to study it. It's there. You just have to observe it for 10 videos and you're going to vomit. And playing that character gave me a rush. And I played that type of character many times just for the people to see how exactly is the character. Because, the Zionists, they have a very well taught strategy that it's extremely well funded.
But are you not afraid of being called anti-Semitic?
Oh, yeah, we have been called that so many times. Like, I think they will give me a prize for, but do they know the definition of Semitism? They have no idea. Who's Semitic? Somebody who comes from Poland to occupy Palestine? Those are the Semites? Oh, really? My husband speaks Arabic, it's half Syrian, and he speaks Aramaic. I hate the Semites so much, I married one. And my children are going to be Semites. What are they talking about? Semites. Who's the Semite? Benjamin Milejkowski, who comes from Poland. We know the father of Benjamin Netanyahu, as I call him. You're Polish. The entire country, they're from so many countries, including Romania. Who's Semite? Oh, if I marry right now a Jewish man, I learn the language. I'm Semite right now. Out of the blues, poof, I can have a house there. My occupation, I don't know, West Bank. It's so easy to see them coming. The problem is, as I told you before, the little zombies, mental slaves who believe everything that the media is giving you. I pity them. So might as well offend them.
You say you're married to a Semite.
Well, it's Syrian. We're Syrian Armenian. But, I mean, let's talk about the Semite languages, the people who are speaking Aramaic, Arabic, and Hebrew, right? Mm-hmm. So my husband is one of them. I hate so much the Semitic people. Oh, look, they're not from the land. They crave to take a piece of Syria as well. What do they mean by being Semite? They come from Brooklyn and from Poland and from Germany. Who are the Semites? Oh, no, because our God promised us 3,000 years ago the land. What is God? God is partial. God hates people. God will put on the pedestal, who is Jewish, who is Christian, who is... No, this is the Zionist mentality. God is not evil. God is not partial. God does not hate people and chooses his favorite ones.
It's easy to see how popular your satire is because you're getting hits in the millions these days. But what about critics? I mean, you've obviously got this popular following, but I would imagine that Zionists are also watching you with some alarm. And have you been cancelled anywhere, or no platformed or censored?
Well, they cannot chew me. Might as well they can choke if they want. Critics, of course, I don't take that as a critic. I take that as a badge of honor, honestly. I mean, if I'm not making them angry, I'm not doing a good job. And I mean, I'm disgusted to even like have a conversation with a Zionist, but I would ask, what exactly offended you? Oh, freedom of speech, the only democracy in the Middle East. Okay. Are you so afraid of freedom of speech? I'm making a sketch. I'm educating people. I'm telling, are you offended by the truth? Of course. Well, stupid question to ask them.
So do they stop you in the airport lounge or when you're out and about and say, you're that awful woman who makes fun of us?
I had my experiences. One of them was actually when we were both in Malta. And you know what happened with the boat from Freedom Flotilla, the Conscience. The day after was bombed. And they say there are no proofs that Israel did that. No, who was? Nicaragua, Zimbabwe didn't want that boat to reach Gaza. But anyway, and you were there actually. The next day after the bombing, it was this, you felt that atmosphere around Valletta in Malta. There were people that were with us, with kofias and supporting, because Malta, it's a very small country. And there are the other people like saying in the street, long live Israel. I was like, what? And then a group of Israelis, they were trying to like come after us and swear at us. And they have those swear words that they stole from Arabic, including the poop word. It's stole from Arabic. So they steal absolutely everything. And because I speak a little
Even
bit of
the bad
Arabic,
language.
yes. Even the bad language, they stole it. So because I understand Arabic a little and I speak a little, I was understanding the swear word. So they were just putting the mobiles in our faces. I was there with Tiago Avila and Jasmine Akar, and they were trying to get a reaction out of us to say, oh, we told you she's crazy. Yeah, well, that's a compliment. Who's not crazy by now is what's happening. I mean, you're insane, honestly. I had this type of death threats and love letters and all, but that's another Tuesday. That doesn't mean it's not scary. Sometimes I'm not playing it here like I'm the brave one, but the thing is, you can do something courageous even when you're scared to death. And I really don't care. And I'm the type of person that I do the action and I think later about the consequences. Yeah, I'm the type of person, yeah.
Well, I was going to say, you talked about bravery and courage, but and in fact, you mentioned it, that the first time we met was in Malta, although we do have a connection with a charity called Al Khair.
Oh, yes.
But so we first met in Malta, and I'm looking round at all the different passengers. I think there were over 30 different nationalities there.
Yes.
And I saw you across the room and I thought, oh my God, it's that scary woman
Another scary.
from the border control sketches. And I thought, what on earth is she doing here? And I looked at your bio, and you're down as a comedian, an actor, satirist, playwright, all this sort of thing. And we got talking. And then you told me that you wrote all of your own scripts as well, which I was really impressed at. But what on earth were you thinking going on a boat to break the siege of Gaza?
And did I tell you that I first do the action and then I think about the consequences? Because actually, I got a call from Tiago, and I was supposed to be with Jacob Berger and other people, like social media, let's say, for the launch of the mission. But I knew that I'm the type of person who jumps ship, in the last second. I do things without thinking sometimes. It's like, the instinct. But actually, to answer your question, what can move me or any other person, it's like aren't we tired to wait for the responsibility of the authorities that are supposed to represent the people and all that? I mean, what can we do if not this? I mean, it's a responsibility as a human being to do something. The fact that you were there to support your voice, I mean, speak up even if you're alone. This is what I'm saying, because we are amplifiers of the Palestinian voices. It's not about me, honestly. I appreciate so much the support of the world, but in this case particularly, I am so privileged that I'm sitting here with you. I have a coffee, a bottle of water. I'm safe. We're safe. But as we speak, we know what's happening in Gaza by the minute. And people are being starved. Starvation is a weapon of war. The genocide that we're seeing streamed in 4K in our devices. So I appreciate so much, the support, and I'm sure you appreciate all the support of the world towards you. But in the end, this is the humanity speaking. It's what we have to do, must do as human beings. It's not about us at all. It's about the humanity itself. It's about the fact that we need to amplify what is happening there. So I just want to say that I'm extremely privileged to even sit here and have a conversation when right now, if I open my phone, the first post that we're going to see, it's a child who was killed by the starvation in Gaza or by a bomb, or a man or a woman. I don't have words anymore. For me, the word genocide, it became little to describe what is happening. So I'm extremely privileged to even complain or say, why would I go on a boat towards Gaza? Because, many people who do not want to understand, not I don't understand. It's impossible for somebody right now to tell me it's too complicated. I'm at the stage of slapping people. I don't care. With satire, metaphorically, no to the violence.
So our boat, the Conscience, we never actually got on the damn thing because the Israelis bombed it.
Yes.
We were hours away from going out to meet the boat, 12 miles off the coast of Malta. Were you surprised when we were all sort of called in and were told that the boat isn't sailing? In fact, 2 missiles had hit it.
No, how can I be surprised? I saw children in pieces.
I was just grateful that they didn't wait until we'd boarded.
I mean, we know exactly what happened in 2010 with Mavi Marmara, and we know that they are scared of this type of actions. And right now, it's not like years ago when we did not have all those platforms and social media. And imagine, for me, the most important part here, which doesn't surprise me whatsoever, we saw children in pieces, beheaded, journalists burned alive. We saw every day a horror. So why would I be surprised that they come and bomb us in Malta? Like, that's...
I mean, one of our crew members was Greta Thunberg, the little Swedish climate fighter. And I just thought, there's no way they're going to bomb a boat with Greta Thunberg on board. But in fact, they very quickly after our mission was shelved, another boat went out and Greta was on board, and the Israelis targeted that boat and basically kidnapped the world's most famous climate activist and hauled her off to prison. And I thought to myself, that would have been our fate. And I wondered if you'd thought about that and how you would have coped in an Israeli prison.
Of course. I mean, when we say, oh, Greta was there, or Imam Hassan as a politician was there, or, I mean, maybe we could have said this when Al-Shifa was bombed first. We're talking about after the 7th of October. Said it's impossible for them to just blow up in pieces a hospital, and then it came another hospital and another bakery, another hospital. Did they stop at anything? Did they stop at the fact that it's a declaration of war in international waters at 20 nautical miles from Malta shore? They bombed it. We saw how the plane, the Hercules, I don't know exactly right now the number, but something with 30 left from Israel and flew at a very low altitude towards Malta. Oh, come on, white in a bottle is milk. Like, why would you think that they would stop at anything? Because it's Greta or it's Rima or it's Tiago or it's a Palestinian or it's a Romanian. They don't care. They are murderers, genocidal maniacs, murderers. They will not stop at anything.
What about the reaction of the international community, though? I mean,
What reaction?
They flew thousands of miles up the Mediterranean, circled round the Conscience a few times.
Yes.
I mean, everything's captured now on satellite and GPS. And they circled round, and at that point, they must have released 2 drones. So I'm learning a lot more about weaponry that the Israelis used. And as I say, flying up the Mediterranean, releasing these 2 drones that are called suicide drones because they don't expect them to come back. And they had something called loiter missiles. So when they release these missiles, they loiter around for a while and then hit the target. Quite why they do all these things. But anyway, the net effect was that our boat, the Conscience, was bombed. And there wasn't one word of condemnation from the international community, apart from the president of Venezuela, the president of Brazil. He said it was an act of terrorism. But and that was because there were some Brazilians on board. But not a word from the international community that a civilian boat was bombed in international waters in the Mediterranean where millions of people go on holiday, and there was just silence. So this is why your shows are so important, to highlight the hypocrisy and the injustices around the world. What are the positive feedbacks that you get from these shows and for Nadia?
Well, it's a lot of love and positive feedback from the people who are aware of what is happening. And it's like a recipe. I mean, if people don't like the political content, they're going to like the comedy. So I'm going to make you watch my video for the comedy, but you're going to learn something. Honestly, I have some type of allergy to social media. I'm not really in love with having the phone all the time, and I wish I could have this thing of answering to everybody and talking. I'm quite of an introvert. I don't look like one, but I am actually. And it's just a platform, a means to an end to educate the people. But I appreciate all the love. Like, without that love, I could not reach to teach so many people that are completely blind willingly. So the fact that I have a platform, that gives me a lot of responsibility as well to study exactly what I'm saying, because it's not just, for me, it's not, I'm just making comedy. No, that's something that comes with a lot of responsibility, because that comedy, it's a weapon of resistance. Art, it's such a beautiful way of resist the evil that we're seeing.
And do you enjoy playing this really mean, waspish woman who is so cruel at times?
Well, we had an interview with you and I had to be cruel with you because, I mean, we have to tell the public that we're doing this new satire show, Tai, Hiki and I. So we have one section in the show where we do interviews like we did with you today. So I had to be mean. I'm really sorry. I had to be mean with you. But we have to show the world that that's how the mainstream media is treating wonderful people such as yourself. So I did not enjoy that, Yvonne.
Well, I have to say, while we did that sketch, I just felt as though I was on another right-wing shock jock channel.
Yeah.
In Britain.
Yes.
Don't take it personally, GB News, but there was very little difference from the pylon I got from you and Tig and to the treatment that I have had.
Well, that's intentional, to show people that like wonderful voices are being treated like this just to silence them. So we just played that awful character. I hope it's not too much, but I'm sure you coped with it. So basically, it's the same thing. Like, people will not like it, but actually, that is the truth. That's if you go with one of those podcasts or interviews, they're going to treat you like this, and they're going to speak with you like this in order to manipulate the public opinion about Yvonne. And it's so unfair that I'm really keen to play that character.
Yeah. I mean, I was browbeaten by one presenter. Piers Morgan started it by saying, "Do you condemn Hamas?" And the particular person who he was firing the question at was squirming and moving around and giving different responses. And I had this a few months ago, do you condemn Hamas? And I said, well, I condemn all violence. Yes, but do you condemn Hamas? And it went on and on and on. And it seemed as though it was becoming a game with these shock jocks and right-wing journalists to, do you condemn? Do you condemn? And now, I'm showing all these skeletal images and saying, Israelis, do you condemn what is being done in your name? And they get really annoyed, but that is essentially, the silliness of this question, do you condemn? And
I only condemn pineapple on pizza. This is the only thing I can do. That's the only thing that's offensive. Pineapple. I cannot even describe the stupidity of this. I mean, you condemn Hamas. Why he never streamed the images of decapitated babies in Palestine and journalists being burned alive, and how they targeted the tents and how they butchered the people on a daily basis? I'm talking about Piers Morgan. So much, oh, I care. For him, like, he goes on this, for him it's a trend, brings views. And, lately my friend Jacob Berger was on the show, and he was like, Jacob has so much knowledge, and he's an American Jewish, and he's on the Handala right now going to Gaza. And I mean, if Piers is so protective of Jewish people, why don't you let Jewish voices who are supporting humanity and supporting Palestine to speak and to tell you, oh, no, you're going on the selfie act. They only talk about Greta Thunberg because it makes numbers for them. Or why don't you go at the core of what's happening? If you use so much, because you're cashing out, this for you, Palestinian cause, it's a cash cow for them. Yeah.
Greta Thunberg. And, Piers was my old boss at the Daily Mirror, and he's blocked me now on one of his Twitter accounts.
Oh.
Which I'm still not quite sure what it was that I said or did. But I was surprised at the vicious, bullying way that he went after Greta Thunberg.
After a 21, 22-year-old woman, like, and she's so fierce. And like Jacob told him, like, Greta has more honor in one fingernail that you will ever have in your entire body. Like, she risks her life. And not only her, because this is not only about Greta. Greta, they call her an angry, Trump called her a young, angry woman. Well, yeah, we definitely need more angry women. It's about what Flotilla represents, what you have on your t-shirt right now. Break the siege, break the illegal siege. This is, I'm sure, and I can assure you about Greta and everybody who's on that boat, who's not about them. It's about breaking the siege, the flotilla. It's what the authorities and nobody is doing, and the civilians are doing. So why would you highlight, as Piers Morgan, I never had the displeasure to meet him, to highlight only Greta and went after her like, are you okay? You're an old man going after her. Why? Because she's willing to risk her life to bring 10 kgs of flour, or however she said exactly something like, I would risk my life to bring flour to the people of Gaza. What is not honorable in that? For you to go after her and not represent what the flotilla means.
She does have a bad press, and she doesn't deserve it at all. When I saw her at one of the meetings, I'm looking, thinking, I know that face. And then I realized who it was. And slowly getting to know her, she's not shallow at all. She's a very deep thinker. And she's also neurodivergent and is happy to talk about that as well. And I was surprised at the detail and thought that she had put into going on to the boats, on to joining the flotilla. And our ship got bombed, but she went on the next one and ended up in an Israeli prison. And of course, she was deported. And what they did, they put her on an El Al flight, which of course is the state airliner. And what they do when you're being deported, it hasn't happened to me yet, but they get the deported person on the plane last. So you've got all the Israeli passengers sitting there, and then you've got to do this long walk of shame right down the aisle to go to the final seat at the end, which doesn't move backwards or forwards. So you're sitting upright for the entire flight. And you're surrounded by Zionists who are giving you the evils. It must have been really daunting for her.
All of them, they were so brave. I mean, look at her arriving, I think it was in France. She gave a brilliant speech talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Tiago, look at Jasmine, Rima, all of them. They were so proud.
Yes.
I mean, do you really think that that can be comparable, and they all know that, with what is happening to the people in Gaza? This is what the Zionists do. They are trying to humiliate, they are killing, they are behaving like, I cannot even say demons. I would definitely offend the demons if I say that. So I can assure you that every single person from every flotilla, they know exactly where they're going, and they are brave people, and they know it's not about them, it's about breaking the siege and end this genocide and occupation. So no matter how much they try, no matter how much they assault you, how much they go after me, after Greta, after Tiago, after the Palestinians who were on the boat, like every single person who went on each flotilla or any other mission, like we know what to expect, don't you? Like, why do you think I would be surprised? Because they spit you, put you in prison, the conditions that they put Tiago, for example, that the poor man had to show us all the rash he had from there's no hygiene in those cells, and he was kept in solitary confinement. All that bullying, do you think we're surprised? How many hostages are being kept in Israeli prisons? Palestinian hostages, many of them, thousands of them, children, that they are not being given charged. How can you charge a child?
But even then, I knew that had we gone on the conscience, had it been boarded by the Israelis, we would have been protected by our white privilege, and we would have been.
Yes.
What I certainly didn't want to be arrested by the Israelis. I didn't want to see any PR pictures of them feeding me sandwiches.
War
or
crimes,
whatever.
but with gluten. Careful. War crimes, but we feed you like pigeons with the sandwich, and we put there the camera to show the world that we gave you a sandwich and water. You just kidnapped me international waters and you throw a white light painting at me and you send drones and you terrorize me, and after you do all this, you feed me like a pigeon in the park. Amazing.
And then ask you to sign a paper saying that you've entered Israel illegally, when in fact you never wanted to go to Israel in the first place. You're going to Gaza.
Exactly. It's not your water, not your land. You kidnapped me in international water where it's an illegal blockade. And you have the nerve to say that I enter in what? And it's not real, in a land that is not yours, to sign what? Exactly.
The thing that I loved about the flotilla, although it's been some years now since a boat actually did get through the blockade, is that the Palestinian people are watching, and they're seeing what we're doing, and they're loving us for it, because quite often, and it's hardly surprising, they feel as though the world is ignoring them, or is forgetting about them, or is not interested. So when people like you and I pop up on a boat saying we're going to break the siege of Gaza, they really admire us for it. And that's very important. When I was on, I think it was the Dignity, which got through the siege of Gaza, there were more than 100,000 Palestinians turned up in this tiny little seaport, crammed in to watch this boat sail in. And it wasn't really about us. It was the physical fact that this was the first ever boat to get into the Gaza port for the first time in 41 years. People think the siege is just a few years old, but it's not. It's more than half a century. It's since the Nakba.
I want to put something there for the public to understand. Palestinians do not need our mercy. It's not mercy that we're giving. Like, we're part of the problem, because we live in countries where it's our responsibility to vote, to take care of our own backyard, our politicians. We're part of the problem, not you and I. We're talking about the privilege that we have. So many people, and I saw a lot in the, let's call it pro-humanity movement, they think that somehow, I'm supporting Palestinians. Look at me, the white lady from I don't know what country. They don't need your mercy. You cannot, we will need hours to talk about the culture and the education and a lot of things that the West doesn't understand. So I want to say that, for example, when a flotilla goes towards Gaza, that's a collective action. That resistance of Palestinians, it's what is teaching the world how we should behave in the jungle that we have here, because we don't have any freedom here. And the fact that I can walk on the streets or do whatever, we're in London right now, say something that they don't like, 2 words. Imagine we're doing a podcast right now for Palestine, and you say, action. You understand what I'm saying, no? I have no freedom here. So I want to tell this to the world. Do not think that you're giving mercy to the Palestinians. Their resilience for so many years, so many people would not understand it.
And they've taught us so much about our democracy as well. We now know...
What democracy on?
Well, exactly. We now know we don't have a democracy.
Nothing.
We've got a prime minister who's nicknamed Tel Aviv Keith because he appears to be taking his orders from Israel.
They're all enslaved. It's disgusting. And for me, what are them? All of them on Epstein tapes?
Well, I don't know.
Because I'm sure we can find them around them, the ones that are in England as well. Donald Trump, all my, I want to put outside the Epstein list, the Epstein cases, the Kennedy files. Right now, where are the tapes and the list? They are all sold. Do we sit right now to criticize them? I'm tired of that. It's time for action from our side.
Well, thanks to the people of Gaza, we now know we don't have a democracy. As the Scots would say, it's hanging on a shoogly peg. It's just not...
I like that. How is it?
It's a lovely expression. And it just means that it's so fragile, it's going to drop at any minute. Yeah. And so we have a lot to thank the Palestinian people for showing us the sham of European democracy.
The entire world is occupied but Palestine, I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Because you realize that they're still resisting.
It's the only Zionist-free area.
Exactly.
Or Zionist-free thinking
and
area.
And I really hate, the people from the West who they don't dig and they put themselves as, heroes. And then somebody's telling me, you're a hero because you speak about what? I'm a hero. I'm privileged. Mm-hmm. You don't have to put me on a pedestal. Oh, Nicole, it's a hero. Everybody, I'm not. I'm a normal human being that I'm doing a normal thing to speak about normal humanity. What do you mean I'm a hero? I'm a hero because, 70,000 people were killed, more than that. But let's take the numbers of what, it's accepted in the media. for us to get together. And then people are getting, upset because you don't invite me to a committee where this. We're talking about the blood of people, of the Palestinians. You got together and many people got a platform because of this. Let's say it out loud. That doesn't make me a hero. I appreciate it, but I have a responsibility with that. But that doesn't make me better or courageous to the, oh my God. Courageous are the people who are in the tents right now and they're still resisting. And where is my responsibility to sit with you and to teach in front of the cameras to all those zombies that you do not live in freedom and you do not live in democracy?
Well, you found a very inventive way of doing it through your character, Nadia. And Nicole, it's been a great pleasure having you on my show. I hope you'll come on again.
Definitely.
And hopefully we'll have better things to talk about and more voyages to go on together. And, let's break that siege.
Yeah, inshallah. So thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you.